Hey, Kevin Purcell here for Gotta Be Mobile, and we just got in the new Pebble Steel smartwatch. I've got my old Pebble smartwatch over here. This is the Kickstarter edition that we got recently. At CES this year, Pebble announced that they would be launching something called the the Pebble Steel, with a new hardware design that looks more like a little bit more of an elegant watch. I've seen pictures of it, and it looks like a nicer watch. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it for you and let you get a look at it. Go ahead and take the top off of this. Now, first thing, this packaging. I'm sort of a sucker for nice packaging, and this looks a lot like a nicer watch that you might buy at a jewelry store. We'll look under here. We've got the paper manuals. Here we have the extra watch band. It comes with two, one installed that's leather, and then this one, which is a steel one. All right. And then down here in the bottom, another flap to open. And with that, we get the magnetic power charging connector that you can plug in via USB. One of the issues that I had with my Pebble, my original Pebble, was that the connector on the side here was a little bit flimsy. It didn't hold very well, and so sometimes I would plug in my Pebble, put it down on the nightstand and not really pay careful attention to it. And when I put it down, it would come loose. I'd get up in the morning and it really hadn't charged overnight. So that was kind of annoying. All right, so we have the Pebble. I'm going to go ahead and take that plastic off while it's in there. All right, so it's, and you know, you might see this on a nice jewelry box that you'd buy a watch in from a jewelry store or a department store or something. The original Pebble just came in a flat box, and I don't know, it just wasn't nearly as impressive. All right, so as you can see here, when you start it up, when you take it out of the box, it's all ready to go to pair to your smartwatch. As I look at it, my first initial reaction is that this thing does, in my opinion, look a lot better than the original plastic Pebble. I notice the actual watch face itself is really not any different. It looks smaller, but it's the same size, but that's because the casing is much smaller. See here the thickness of it. So it's about the same thickness, but as you can tell from the top down, it's clearly a little bit smaller. Like if I go down here and hold it, what does that look like? Maybe half an inch or so shorter. The width is about the same. And then of course the leather band and this steel band, they're much nicer. And from what I understand, we'll connect this here. The charger goes on, and I think it's a lot stronger. Notice that. So that alone is a big improvement. Even if it was just the same watch but had a better charger, I would be impressed and happy with the upgrade, but because that was such an annoyance. But we're really glad about that fact. Now, one of the things I don't like is, you know, when you get a Pebble, you don't know right off the bat how much power it's got, and there's no power indicator. So for all I know, this thing's about dead, but we're going to go ahead and try to set it up anyway. So I've downloaded the Pebble app on my iPhone. And notice here it tells me to turn on Bluetooth. So I'll go into settings. Well, there we go. And it says it's connected. Pebble would like to communicate with Pebble Technology Corp. Pebble E. Yes, of course, I'm going to allow it. It goes back. And immediately the watch, which right off the bat's a little bit dirty, says it's ready for update. So we're going to go here and hit start. I have a Pebble account. Alright, so I'm going to enter my login information. I've entered my login information, and now it's asking me if I want to turn on location data, which of course I do. Some of your apps and watches may be lost because they haven't been updated to work with Pebble 2.0 software update. Alright, that's just kind of a warning. Let's make sure the Pebble is up to date. Check now. So it's going to check Pebble servers for an update to the firmware. And of course it is downloading version 2.0 and we'll install it on the Pebble. So we'll come back when it's finished. While that's still downloading, I wanted to show you this metal band. It's got a little button here on the side that releases the clasp. A lot of people have been complaining online because they don't give you any instructions on how to swap it out. So we're going to figure that out and actually do a video of it. It looks like probably the pin there, you're going to have to pump that out. When I bought my Kickstarter edition, I had to swap out the band because it comes with a short band, and so I bought a jewelry tool, a jeweler's tool made specifically for switching watch bands, and it's not very expensive. I'll give you a link to that to show you how to do that. All right, so now we're told that it has updated, so we'll hit continue there. We want to set up notifications. This guide will help you do so. So this is just going through the steps. This is what you're going to see. It's telling you how to go in and set up notifications on your Pebble watch. So we'll do that now. We'll pair with the watch. So notice it's already sent me one of my notifications there. We'll do a test text message, a test phone call. So we're done. So it's working just fine. Now it's going to offer to let us grab some apps. It's got a number of apps. It comes starting off with a few. We're going to hit next and just go on. Setup is complete. It's that simple. You tap up here in the corner. There's two different sections for loading things on your Pebble: the Get Watch Faces and Get Apps. And then this is an area called the Locker. Pebble can only hold up to 8 apps or watch faces at a time. And so if you have maybe 10 or 15 or 20 or more apps that you like, that you use, you're going to have to store a few of them here in the Locker, and you can quickly load them on your watch without having to search the App Store. That's a little bit of a limitation, but I find you probably don't want more than 8 anyway. Alright, so it's ready to go, and we can begin loading some of our apps. Now here are some of the apps that I've already got in the here. This is my let's see if we can find it. There we go. There's my favorite watch face with Yahoo Weather. So it's saying that it is loading it. Notice the progress screen in the background, and notice that it's now installed on the watch. So there's a number of different tools and apps that you can use. I'll show you the App Store. That was just the My Pebble section we were looking at. Here's the Get Watch Faces section of the Pebble app. And so this lets you look at the different apps or watch faces, and then we go into the Get Apps section. It's got Foursquare, Yelp for Pebble, Pebble Cam. That's kind of neat. It will let you use the phone camera. We'll go ahead and get that. Now that's interesting. It took us outside the app and took us to the App Store, the iOS App Store. So that actually is just a link. That's the first time I've seen that. So that's how it handles apps that you have to pay for, I guess. Down here it's got this support section with different things that you can do. Here's where you check for your updates. It will check now even though it's not going to find one because we've just downloaded an update. Alright, so it's been updated. And one of the things I want to show you here is the functioning of the buttons. When you're in your watch face, the up and down button, they go up and down in the various watch faces that you currently have installed on the phone, on the watch. Here's the settings button. It can control music, check out your notifications, set alarms, look at your watch faces, go into settings. This is where it shows your Bluetooth connection. Notice I'm connected already. This is the back button. I'm going to go down here to date and time because it comes default set to, it's hard for you to see that, 24-hour time, but I'm going to go down here and switch it because I prefer 12-hour time. The display, preferences, the backlight is on motion. You can set it where once it goes to sleep, the light goes to sleep, you can shake the watch and it'll wake the light up real quickly. Right. That's where you shut down, do a factory reset. Below settings, you'll see the different apps that you have installed. We haven't installed an app yet, but you would see that below there. This has been Kevin Purcell for Gotta-Be Mobile with the new Pebble Steel watch and the Pebble app working with it.